Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about stacking silver as a hedge against inflation. But before I do that, I know I don't talk about sports on this channel. It's a silver stacking channel. That's what people are here to see. But I have seen some comments down below where people are talking about a certain tournament that's been going on all the time in March, and what my Final Four would be. So I'm just going to put that up right here. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So for people that have been asking that, this is what it is. I'm still looking pretty good so far, but that's all I'm going to do on the subject because I know that a lot of people don't want to hear about it, don't want to talk about it. So I'm just going to be sticking with the silver and jumping into today's topic, which is stacking as a hedge against inflation. Now you hear the term all the time, hedge against inflation, and it's basically just saying that this is a silver coin and it is a finite piece of metal. You know what I mean? It's not something that can just be created out of nowhere, and there's a finite amount of it. Unlike paper money, fiat currency, that stuff can just be, it seems like, printed at will. You know what I mean? Especially recently, they've been coming out with all these crazy numbers just about how much currency has been created over the past couple of years. And it's a really, really huge number. And the Fed keeps saying, it's not going to be a long-term, inflation is not going to be a long-term problem that you're going to have to worry about. Jerome Powell was making a speech a couple of weeks ago that was saying, he basically said that exact phrase verbatim, that you might see a short-term effect from it, but it's not going to be a long-term problem. I don't see how that's possible, because you know what I mean, you're just flooding the markets with that paper money. Of course you're going to have nothing to do but to have to inflate it and devalue it. That's why a lot of people are stacking, and that's how I got into stacking, basically. I had a friend tell me about precious metals before, a couple years ago, and I picked up a couple pieces here and there, but I wasn't really too into it. It wasn't until late 2019 where I first heard the term silver stacking, and that's when I started watching a lot of the YouTube videos, and then I started hearing a lot of the reasons why getting into silver stacking is a good idea. And the hedge against inflation was what caught my eye and caught my attention the most, because it really, really does make sense that you can have your paper currency, your fiat currency in the bank, and they even say that it's I believe it's like 2% annually that the money is inflated, and they're saying that's how it is, that it's set. It's on the record that that's basically what the inflation rate is every year, no matter what. So the money that you have in your bank in a year is going to be the buying power is obviously going to be less on it. So Jerome Powell can say all he wants about the inflation rate not going to be a long-term issue, but inflation is going to be an issue, because no matter what, it already says that it's going to be going up by 2%. So you can have your money in the bank. It's always a good idea to have some money on hand no matter what. But the majority of your money, like if you have quite a lot of money in a particular savings account, it might make some sense to move some of that money that's currently being affected by inflation, or has the potential of being affected by inflation, and moving it into something that cannot be inflated, like silver here. Gold as well, obviously. So it might make sense, if you do have, quite a bit of money in that savings account, that you can move it out of there and put it into the precious metals, because with the precious metals, like I said, it being a finite material, it can't be inflated. So you're retaining your purchasing power, you know what I mean? This is the hedge against that inflation that can be affecting your paper money. And it's really cool. I actually came across this article that was, we always talk about, silver can't be inflated and this and that. But back before paper money, they actually did find a way to devalue the silver coins. The governments, what they would do is they would just continually melt down the currency and then keep adding in the article there, it said junk precious metals in there. They just kept adding in things that obviously weren't as much as the silver to devalue the amount of silver in the coin. And I believe it was the denaries. I forget exactly what country it is. I put the article up here, just this little snippet. You'll be able to see what the country was, but they said they devalued it almost to no silver content in the coin. So it's pretty interesting back in the day when there was no paper money, there was no fiat currencies, that governments and countries could still find a way to effectively inflate the precious metals by lessening the amount of silver that's in there, but still having it cost the same amount to pay for the same amount of things. But yeah, I thought I would just do a quick little video about this, because I remember when I was first getting into the silver stacking and watching a bunch of the videos, I went through all of them. I would find a creator that I liked, you know all the big names like the Silver Dragons and Silver Joker and stuff like that, and I would find a channel and I would just go through their entire back catalog, and then I would find the next one. And there would be some terms when I would first be getting into it that just from context you could kind of get what they were talking about, but these content creators, they're not going to stop every 3 seconds to explain everything in their videos. They're making them in the assumption that the majority of the people that are watching it are going to understand what they're talking about. So if you're just getting into it like I was back then, you might hear terms thrown around like hedge against inflation, and just from understanding what those words mean, you kind of have an idea what it is, but you can look in a little bit further as to understanding why exactly that is and how the precious metals work in a way where they're not inflated compared to the fiat currencies. Then that's when I started seeing silver stacking as something that is going to be very beneficial to me, and it has so far. I see the stack growing, like I can physically see the silver in front of me and the little bit of gold that I have, but a majority of silver, I can physically see it growing, and you can look at it and say, okay, this is money. This can't just be poof made out of thin air. So yes, I know to a lot of veteran stackers and people that have been doing this for a long time, this might seem like a no-brainer type video, and you know what I mean. But for some people that are just getting into it, we've seen the demand going up, and we've seen that new people are flooding into the market. So all of them might not stay. The majority of them might not stay. But if you get a little bit of a percentage, let's say, I don't know, 10-15% of the people that bought into the hype surrounding all the stuff that was going on, let's just say a small amount like that, 15% stick around, they're going to be starting from a place where they might not know as much as the rest of the community, so they might take away something from this video. So I do appreciate you watching. As I said, I just want to do a little thing like this. But yeah, I remember when I was first starting out stacking, and there was terms that you would hear, different things thrown around where you kind of get it, but you still need to do that little bit more research to fully understand it. I thought I would just make a little video about stacking as a hedge against inflation, just for anyone that's new and just looking for that little bit more, explanation. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And for the people that wanted to see what I popped up there in the first part of the video there, my final four, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your brackets are still surviving. And that's the last that I'll be bringing it up on this channel. And like I said, this was just a quick little video I wanted to do. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.